Kailey, isn't it so exciting we get to talk about gaits today? Look, this is one of the only swinging gaits on the property.
I know, it's so great, isn't it?
It's so cool.
Wait, you guys, we're not talking about gaits. We're talking about horse gaits, like
This is a
walking,
horse gait.
trotting, the way that their feet move.
Oh.
Howdy, and welcome to the Bar SC Ranch, where you will experience our journey of running a family business, caring for animals, and doing life together. Subscribe now and be inspired here at the Bar SC.
So today, we're going to be talking about the gaits of a horse. And so there's 4 typical gaits, and those are the way that the horses move. There's the walk, the trot, the canter, and then the gallop. So first, I'm going to talk about the walk. The walk is a 4-beat gait, meaning that each foot is going to fall 4 times. So if you come down here, I'm not a frog, I'm a horse, but I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
When we talk about the walking gait with a horse, it is the slowest gait, the first one that the horse picks up after it's been standing still. We wanted to let you know that when a horse is walking, it can walk either slow or it can walk fast. So there's different speeds within each gait. So there are different disciplines of riding. Today we're going to show you English and Western. Those are 2 disciplines of riding. Right now you're watching Bailey, Kailey and Bailey. Bailey is the horse. She's being ridden Western in a Western saddle and a Micklem bridle. She is demonstrating a very slow walk. We wanted to show you that there are different speeds and different ways of going within each gait. So this is a Western slow walk. If we want her to pick up a working walk, that would be a little bit faster. So Kailey, can you ask Bailey to go ahead and pick up a working walk? So Kailey is not going to do anything but just a very light squeeze with her leg and a little bit of movement within her seat. So when I say her seat, literally her hip bones in the saddle, kind of push the horse along and ask it to pick up speed within the gait of the walk. We don't want it to go any faster. We want her to stay right at a walk. But a Western walk, the horse's head will be a little bit lower and it's going to be a little bit slower, kind of like this. So here we have Willie and Maddi. Maddi is showing us the English style of riding today. This is Willie at a walk. Right now he's at a very slow walk. Maddi just got on. She's asking him to stretch down and just kind of stretch his muscles, but he's not really working or doing anything too strenuous right now. Maddi, can you go ahead and ask him to pick up a working walk? So he can walk considerably, well, a little bit faster than he was. English horses are asked oftentimes to stretch their head down at the walk so that they can be freer in their movement and stretch their muscles out. But a lot of times English horses are asked to work within what we call a frame. So where the horse is going to use the muscles up over its back and it's going to bring its head up and in. So Maddi, can you show us what more of a collected walk would look like? So she's going to shorten up her reins. Again, she's using her seat bones to ask the horse to move forward a little bit with her leg. But now he's using his muscles all up over his top line. So that would be the top of his neck and the top of the muscles right under where the saddle goes through his hind end. And he can better perform each gait this way. But again, this is going to be an English working walk.
The trot is a 2-beat gait where the horse's feet will move in diagonal pairs. Horses will trot at about 8 miles per hour, and they can trot up to 15 miles.
So in the Western discipline, a horse will still trot, but oftentimes we actually call it a jog, and it's considerably slower sometimes than the English trot. So if you go to a show, You'll hear the judge ask the participants to jog their horses. And when a horse is jogging, it should be really well-mannered, very quiet, and the jog should be very comfortable to sit. So Kailey's body is just going to sit. Her rear end is going to stay in the saddle. It's not going to bounce up and down. This is something that Kailey has had to practice a lot because by nature, horses, when you're sitting on them, are quite bouncy at the jog or the trot. And your body needs to learn how to move its muscles independently of each other. So Kailey's rear end is sitting and stuck to the saddle, but she's absorbing a lot of the shock in her belly button and even in her heels. And her body is moving, all the parts are moving independently so that she looks very quiet and very still. So in the English discipline, this is more of a forward working trot. Maddi's horse has got him all, got Willie, the horse, collected. His head is up and rounded. His nose is still kind of vertical to the ground. Maddi is using her feet and her legs to push the horse forward. She is also doing something called a posting trot or a rising trot. So the posting or rising is done primarily in the English discipline and not in the Western discipline. It does not mean when I say that people who ride Western don't post, they do, but definitely not in a show situation. In an English style of riding, you are allowed to post in a show. And the posting or rising is where the rider is going to be going up and down with the rhythm of the horse's front leg. To be completely correct, the rider needs to be rising and falling as the horse's outside, or in this case, as Willie's right front leg goes forward, Maddi will rise, and as she sits down, that leg will be coming back. So she's going to be going rising and falling, up, down, up, down, up, down, with the rhythm of that outside front leg. So in the English style of riding, a sitting trot is also something that people will be, or performers will be asked to do in a show. A sitting trot in English is going to be considerably more forward, which means a little bit faster than in a Western jog. It's also a lot more bouncy. As you can see, Maddi has a lot more movement going on in her body. She is still gluing her rear end to the saddle, but her stomach is having to work a lot harder to absorb the bounciness and the shock of her horse during this sitting trot. But Maddi practices this for literally hours at a time, and it is something that you need to practice in order to perfect, but it's very beautiful and very fun once you get a good hang of it.
So the next gait is the canter, or the lope, depending on what discipline and speed you're riding. And the footfall pattern is the right hind, the diagonal pair, and the left front. Horses can canter between 10 and 17 miles per hour. And in 1 hour, the U.S. cavalry horses can run 9 miles, carrying 225 pounds.
So at the Western gait, we call this faster speed a lope. A lope is supposed to be a little bit quieter and more calm and slower than an English canter. It's also supposed to be a bit smoother and easy to sit. So in the English style of riding, the canter is a lot faster than a lope. The horse's head is going to be a little bit higher, definitely more rounded out, as you can see in Willie. When a horse transitions from the trot to the canter, or even from a walk to the canter, we do call it a transition, and riders will spend years perfecting that ability. It's very hard for the horse to transition, to go from the walk to a canter, or even a trot to a canter, really smoothly and very balanced. It takes a rider who has practiced a lot and has a lot of balance as well, and really good control over every single part of their body to make it come together and look really, really beautiful. At the canter here, Maddi's seat is sitting pretty firmly in the saddle. Her seat bones are asking the horse to continue cantering. I don't know if you've noticed, but she's in her stirrup, and her seat should not change at all. Her leg and her balance should remain the same whether she has her stirrups or not. And that takes a considerable amount of practice to pull off.
So the next gait up from a canter is a gallop. We didn't show you guys that today because we like to keep all of our horses nice and mellow for guests. Sometimes as you continue to gallop your horses around, then when you get on them to canter, they will take off galloping. So as we teach other kids how to canter our horses, we like to make sure that they're going to stay nice and mellow. But we do hope that you learned so much about the walk, trot, and canter and those 3 gaits that we do here. And we'll see you later.
If you enjoyed this video, we would love to hear from you. Like and subscribe, and leave us a comment on what you'd like to see in future episodes. We'll see you back at the ranch.